Fear is something all of us feel, no matter who we are. It comes in many forms. For some, it is the fear of failure. For others, it is the fear of losing what they cherish. But no matter the shape it takes, fear has a common effect. It paralyzes us. It stops us from living fully and freely. Why does this happen? Fear has a purpose. It is our mind's way of protecting us from harm. If we did not fear danger, we might take reckless actions that could hurt us. But fear can also grow beyond its purpose. It can take control of our thoughts, our choices, and even our lives. This is the kind of fear we must understand, so it does not dominate us. Let us reflect for a moment. Think about the last time you felt fear. Was it a sudden moment, like hearing a loud noise, or was it something deeper, like a fear of being judged by others? Whatever it was, that feeling came from within. And here is a powerful truth. Fear is born in the mind. It is not something outside you. It is something created by your own thoughts. Now, does this mean fear is not real? No, it feels very real. But the way we experience it is often far greater than the reality. For example, think of a shadow in a dark room. It might seem terrifying at first. But when you turn on the light, you see it is only a harmless object. This is the nature of many fears. They are bigger in our minds than they are in reality. Why does this matter? Because when you recognize that fear is created by your mind, you begin to see that you have some power over it. You do not have to be its slave. You can learn to observe it, understand it, and even challenge it. Here is a question for you. When fear arises, how do you usually respond? Most of us do one of two things. We either try to run from it, or we freeze and feel helpless. But what if I told you there is another way? What if you could face your fear? Not with anger, but with wisdom? Wisdom is like a lantern in the dark. It helps you see clearly. And when you see clearly, fear loses its grip on you. In the next part, I will guide you on how to shine this light of wisdom on your fears. For now, simply remember, fear begins in the mind. And because it begins in the mind, you have the ability to transform it. Now that we understand fear begins in the mind, let us explore how to face it. The key is not to fight fear, but to approach it with wisdom. When you use wisdom, fear becomes less overwhelming, less powerful. It is no longer something to run from. It becomes something you can work with. First step is to observe your fear. What do I mean by this? When fear arises, instead of reacting immediately, pause and pay attention to it. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Be specific. Fear often feels vague and overpowering, but when you look closely, it becomes clearer. For example, if you fear failure, ask, what does failure mean to me? What am I truly afraid of losing? This practice is like shining a light in a dark room. At first, the fear may still seem big, but the more you examine it, the more manageable it becomes. You start to see its true size and shape. And sometimes you might even realize that the fear is based on assumptions or ideas that are not true. The next step is to challenge your fear. This does not mean denying it or pretending it does not exist. Instead, it means questioning the story your mind is telling you. Fear often comes with a story. If I fail, I will be worthless. Or, if I lose this, my life will be ruined. These are strong words, but are they true? Wisdom asks you to look for evidence. Is there proof that failure makes you worthless? Or that losing something means the end of all happiness? Most of the time you will find that these stories are exaggerated. But wisdom goes beyond just questioning fear. It also helps you see that fear can teach you something. Fear often points to what we value most. If you fear failure, perhaps you deeply care about succeeding. If you fear loneliness, perhaps you value connection with others. Instead of viewing fear as your enemy, think of it as a guide. What is it trying to show you about yourself? What can you learn from it? There is one more thing I want you to remember. Facing fear does not mean you have to do it all at once. Sometimes, taking small steps is the wisest approach. For example, if speaking in public terrifies you, start by speaking to a small group of people you trust. Each step helps you build confidence, and each step shows you that fear is not as powerful as it seems. So here is your practice. When fear arises, pause. Observe it without judgment. Ask yourself, what is this fear really about? Then, question the story behind it. Finally, take one small step to face it. With wisdom as your guide, you will find that fear begins to lose its hold on you. And as it does, you will discover a deeper strength within yourself. In the next part, I will share how to transform that strength into lasting courage. For now, remember, fear is not the enemy. It is an opportunity to grow. Now that we have explored how to face fear, let us take the final step, transforming fear into courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to act despite fear. And this ability comes from understanding and accepting fear rather than fighting it. How do we develop courage? It begins with trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the process. When you observe your fear and question it, you start to see it more clearly. But courage requires you to go a step further. It asks you to take action even if the fear is still present. Remember this. Courage grows through action, not through waiting for fear to disappear. Start small. If you fear failure, take a small risk. If you fear being judged, share something honest with someone you trust. Each time you act, despite fear, you strengthen your courage. Think of it like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. But courage also comes from something deeper. Purpose. When you have a clear sense of purpose, fear becomes less powerful. Ask yourself, what is most important to me? What do I truly want to achieve? When your purpose is clear, it gives you the strength to move forward, even when fear tries to hold you back. Let us also talk about gratitude. Fear often focuses our minds on what we might lose, but gratitude shifts our attention to what we already have. Take a moment to think about the good things in your life. These can be simple things: your health, your loved ones, or even the opportunity to learn and grow. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to fear because it reminds you of your inner resources. Finally, remember that you do not have to face fear alone. Seek support from those who uplift and inspire you. Share your journey with others. Courage is contagious. When you see others overcoming their fears, it reminds you that you can do the same. As we close, I want you to take this message with you. Fear is not a barrier. It is a doorway. Each time you face it, you move closer to your true self. And with wisdom and courage, you can transform fear into strength, purpose, and peace. If this message has resonated with you, I invite you to take a moment to support this channel. Hit the like button to let me know you found this helpful, and subscribe for more content like this. On this channel, you'll find other videos that dive deeper into mindfulness, wisdom, and overcoming life's challenges. Be sure to explore those as well. Together, we can continue this journey of growth and understanding. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.